Hey there YouTubers, thanks for tuning into my channel. I'm going to be doing my yearly overview of my 1982 Datsun 280ZX S130. It's a non-turbo. I'm doing lots of upgrades every year on it. I did a lot of restoration this year. Spent a lot of hours restoring it and modding it. I'll have some links underneath the video on some of the mods I did, like a kill switch, battery relocation to the rear, that sort of thing. And I do a lot of dash cam videos and stuff, so you can check those out. I'll have the links underneath. And I'll start at the back of the car and work my way to the front on some of the things I've done. And so anyway, I designed these decals, kind of a retro style, and put the 280ZX thing on there. My dad could print them out with his custom decal sheeter, so that's really convenient. I really like the black and white contrast. Got a ducktail wing on here. It's a BRE 240Z wing, custom fitted for the 280ZX. Moving right along, I got some louvers installed. I really love the look that it adds to the car. Didn't want to put the back window louvers on. They cost a lot of money. I don't want them to rattle at high speed, and to me it's just dead weight, and they just don't look right because it looks much more sleek this way. But I mean, on some cars it looks great, so to each their own. When I bought the car, it had these old school retro rims. They're 14-inch, and I really like them. They're like one of a kind. They need a polish really bad, but I did spiff them up. I bought these centerpieces for them and key lugs for them. Got some new tires when I bought the car. Radial TAs. They're 225 millimeters wide, and I think they're just the perfect tires for this car, because I don't really want the tires to stick out too much. I'm going for more of a classic Japanese muscle type style. But yeah, they work really good. It grips the corners really well. It's all it really needs. And so the car weighs about probably 26 to 2,700 pounds, depending on what I have removed from the car. Sometimes I remove the passenger seat to get a better GoPro angle, so that you can see the whole cockpit area and all the gauges and me shifting and everything. I'll go over the rest of the interior later, so I'll pop the hood for now. Take a look under there. I blacked out all the trim on the car, as you can see, because this was chrome, all this stuff and all that trim, but I blacked it all out, satin black, and some of it's gloss black, but I mean, it looks really good. I got light covers on there. They really help with wind drag. You get better mileage. It looks just so sick. I've got Strut tower stabilizer bars front and back, made by Cusco Racing. And for those of you who are thinking about doing a cold air intake on this car, don't bother. You'll actually lose horsepower. The way that they designed it on the 280ZXs, and I think S30s too, it has a massive air filter, and it's plugged right into the back of that light housing. So it's getting clean air, and a lot of it, and it doesn't make a loud sucking noise. All you can hear is the engine, and it's breathing really well, you can just tell. Lots of backfires. I've got a cat delete on this thing. Headers that were installed at the Datsun dealer when this car was optioned. It's got all the factory delete options, so no power steering, no AC, no power windows, no power mirrors. Every luxury has been removed. Every luxury that was an option anyway, which is just the way I want it. And it's got the nice red interior, which is not too rare, but it's not too common either. So yeah, a couple of years ago I did the valve stem seals because it was starting to smoke a little bit, and that fixed that. It's got perfect compression straight across, so it's running at the horsepower it would have had from factory, plus more from all the upgrades done. I've got some NGK spark plug cables on there. That's where the battery was. So it was rusting here really bad. I cut out all the rust with a grinder and got someone to weld in some new fresh metal and wired it up, wired the battery in the back, and I have a video on that. And I painted this section. Also got custom rocker panels made this year, and I painted them myself. They were welded on at the same time too. I did a couple of welds. The welder guy, he did some welding on the driver's side underneath on the floor pan too. So yeah, this engine runs amazing. Electric fuel injection, obviously, non-turbo. And yeah, make sure to always keep it topped up, keep the oil golden. So let's move to the inside of the car. We'll start at the back. You can see what I did with the battery. So the battery is right inside the spare tire compartment, which is exclusive to the S130 280ZXs. The S130s, the S30s, they have their spare tire here in the normal spot. Obviously you can't mount a battery there because it's just going to be right in the way in the middle. I think this is just the perfect spot. The battery weighs about the same as the spare tire anyway, so it shouldn't disrupt the balance too much. But it does help it grip better in the back, and I'll take that off in a second. Completely concealed in there. I got the T-top shades and the T-top covers here. It still has the little compartment here, which I think is cool. This car has lots of little compartments to store things. Got the Cusco Strut tire stabilizer bar here. I also put a Suspension Techniques performance sway bar in the back, and a quick detach fire extinguisher mount here, as you can see. So yeah, I usually remove this panel and that panel and the sound deadening here, but I got it back in for winter. But you can really hear the exhaust nice through the floor when you remove all that. So yeah, we'll move forward here, and I'll do a cold start in a bit. So the seats are actually in mint condition, which is pretty dang rare on these cars. Oil pressure's running real good on this car. I like to shift at 5,500 RPM when I'm on a spirited drive. Other than that, I usually shift at I shift pretty high for an average driver, but 4,000 to 5,000 daily driving, and if I'm just cruising, it'll be like, if the engine's still warming up, I like to warm it up a few minutes, and then I'll shift at 3,000 if it's still pretty cold, so until it fully warms up. But yeah, everything's functional. Cruise control is not working, but I don't care. Don't need that. It's got a couple compartments back here, pretty decent ones. So yeah, those are cool. And there's a fire extinguisher, ready to go, because you don't want to have the car burn down after you spent 250 hours working on it, let alone any amount of money or time spent on your car. So it's just good to have that. So if you need to change this speaker, if you blow this speaker, all you got to do is take out this section and you can change it. So that's upgraded. The back speakers are upgraded, but I mean, they were upgraded a long time ago by the previous owner, and they're not that great. But it does the job. It sounds really good with classic rock, which is, I think, what the sound system was designed for back in the 80s. Classic rock and that sort of stuff. I got this Grant steering wheel for Christmas when I first bought this car, shortly after that winter. I actually drove it for the winter there then, and this car drifts really well. So I was doing some 80 km/h drifts, and this car just inspires confidence, especially without the power steering. You can just feel the road as if it's your hand touching the pavement. No luxuries is what I like, because that's what a race car would have. So I'll start the car up. Oh yeah, I got a kill switch hidden in here. I'm not gonna show you guys where it is, but I'll have the link under the video on how to do that. So you can do a overall check here on these cars. And I'll run through everything. So this car is good to go. Let's start her up. It's a cold start. Usually gurgles a little bit when you're cold starting it. That's totally normal for an S130 L28. So I find this engine to be super reliable. You just gotta maintain it properly, like everything. And yeah, if you wanna hear me rev this sucker up, I'll have a link for that too. I did some exhaust revs, and I just love the way this car sounds with the exhaust I have. And I don't know what kind of exhaust, it could be factory, but it does have a cat delete, and the headers, they make a huge difference. Like, I can just feel the engine is breathing all at once. It's backfiring lots. I love that. When you let off the gas after revving it up. So I'll show you where the battery is. Forgot to do that. I'll open up the little compartment. There we go. Screw this. It's very easy to take all these panels off at the back. And my battery relocation video is very detailed on how to do everything to conceal it professionally. Got it in here, got it grounded back here and in the engine bay. Everything fits nice and snug. I have a custom brace made with a battery mount at the bottom, and yeah, it fits in here real nice. Don't even need to strap down the lid because it's nice and snug. But yeah, I usually don't even put this panel back in the car. So just leave that for now. So yeah. Hope you guys liked the video, and thanks for watching my channel. There's my brother's 280. If you want to check that thing out, I have a video on it, on when we bought it. Also, if you guys are interested, he has that car for sale now, $8,200, the best offer, if anybody's interested. It's special edition, number 54 of 3,000 made. I think only 800 made in Canada, or 300 or something. A lot less made in Canada of those. But yeah, it's been repainted, so the body is really mint. It needs a tune-up. It needs new struts. The driver's seat is pretty worn, but he has seat covers on it. Other than that, like, this thing is a reliable car, and could be a pretty good project for somebody. All they got to do is the rust work underneath the floor pans, frame rails. That's really the only major things that needs to be done. Is performance exhaust, performance muffler, fuel injected L28E 5-speed. This car's a 1980. So it's the 10th anniversary model. It has the badges removed when it was repainted, which to me that looks better. And if anyone's interested in it and would like us to do some decals for the back, we could also do like black out this trim around on the back for you, because I think that would look really cool. I could use a nice little wing, but if you want to keep it stock, I mean, totally understand. That's the reason why my brother is selling it, is because he wants a car that he can mod the crap out of. Make it fast, make it look like a real tuner car, lowered with flares and everything. I totally respect that, and that's the reason why he decided to sell it. For the fact that it's an anniversary edition car. Because the value won't really go up if he mods it. So a lot of people don't like to see these modded anyway, so yeah, hit me up if you're interested. Also, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Master Machines. If you'd like to see what these L28Es are capable of, check out his channel, because his car is smoking brand new Mustangs, Camaros, Porsches, Corvettes on the drag strip, and it's just a budget build. It's a 2+2 sleeper, and definitely check out his channel if you're interested in these 280ZXs.